I have got a wonderful guest today. Dr. Coylette James is with us, and she, I know, has a powerful story. She's known as the Lioness, and she works with women and men, and she's a powerhouse leader and a mentor, and just really helps people achieve success. So I am so excited. Coylette, I would love just to hear, a little bit about you and your story and how you got into what you do.
Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. It's such a
Yeah.
pleasure and an honor to be here. My story, whew. I have a book. It's in the book.
Awesome. Yes. Whatever you want to
But
share.
no, my story is that I've come through many trials and tribulations and I still yet stand. That's the overarching of it. I am a person that believes in you valuing who you were created to be, no matter what you've endeavored or have encountered in life. I started off as an orphan. I was adopted as a baby. Thank you, Lord. And then my father died when I was 7, and that was very traumatic because I was a daddy's baby. He literally gave me his name. His name is Coy, and so
Oh.
I'm Coylette. And my life just kind of spiraled a little bit after then. Had my first child at 14, second child 8 days after I turned 16, figured that out, didn't have any more. Um, and then early 20s went through the drug thing and what have you. That didn't last long, thank God. But then in my early 30s, I had an encounter with God where I surrendered my life to Him. I share my story and my testimony not to gloat with it, but to let women know. No matter what you have done or what has been done to you in your past, you are a thriver, not just a survivor, because you were created on purpose for a purpose. Your divine identity is so important to who you are. You're not a mistake. No matter what anybody said to you, you're not a mistake. I like to say that we're not here because mommy and daddy wanted to have some fun. We were here on purpose. God is very, very strategic. So we were created for a specific purpose in this millennial, in the timeline of eternity. If not, we wouldn't be here right now. And so you have great value and great worth to this current day. So until you can embrace the identity that you were created to have, you can't go forth and complete the purpose you were created for because you will think that you're not worthy, you've been through too much has been done to you, you're stuck in that pain cycle instead of allowing yourself to heal. There's so many different things that we go through that hold us back. But I believe that you have greatness in you, each and every one of you. And so when you tap into that, you begin to value yourself. And when you begin to value you, you will never again let anybody else devalue you. So that's my story.
I love it. Oh, I'm so motivated. And there was so much, I grew up poor and with a lot of messages, in an unhappy marriage. Both of my parents were
Mm,
unhappy. And so I was sent a message that wasn't valued, that I wasn't important, that I had to be what others wanted me to be. And then they may or
mhm,
may not still want me, which
mhm,
transferred into my life. But uh, it truly is, it doesn't matter where you start or what
mhm.
happens after. It's
Yep.
not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get back up. And did you learn something from that? Then it
Right.
was not a waste of time. In fact, it was a valuable investment into you.
Hmm. You don't understand how strong you really are until you stop and look back. You don't want to
Yes.
stay back there, but you might want to glance back and think, oh my God, I went through all of that and I'm still here.
Yes.
So therefore, I am very strong and valuable.
Yes. I mean, it really was like in 2013 when I almost took my life during my divorce.
Mm,
And that was my first dark night of the soul, but it was also my beginning because when I just totally surrendered to my own higher power and said, if you want me to stay on this earth, you better show up and you better show me the way. But that
mhm,
is when the counselor came into my life and said, you've been in an abusive marriage. Do you understand that? And then I
mm,
realized, oh, I have some things to change.
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. Yeah, because you were probably seeing yourself through the eyes of the abuser
Yes.
instead of the eyes of the creator. We are
Yes.
daughters of the king, not a king, the king.
Mm-hmm.
So we're royalty. We were designed to walk in a certain place. It's not a place of conceitedness or arrogance. It's that place of self-worth to know you are worthy of everything that you were created to do. And for me, I'm at a place in life where I'm not leaving here with anything undone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And part of my purpose is to pour into others. That's my legacy, is pouring into the lives of others to make sure that they understand how important they are.
Yeah. And I look back at my own experiences and they weren't a waste because not only did I better
Mm-mm,
myself, now I have the ability to help others to show women,
absolutely.
right, that it doesn't matter. And
Mm-hmm,
that to me is my mission in life is to show them the way. And that's why I
mm-hmm,
share the messy, the ugly, the bad, the good
mm-hmm.
in my own journey because it's not perfect and it's supposed to be messy because that's where
Yeah.
the richness is.
Right, right. Being a teenage mother, you can only imagine the things that were said
Yeah.
about me and to me.
Yes. Yes.
Like without anybody really knowing the story. And here's the danger of people and why it's important not to buy into what they say, because if they don't know, they'll make it up.
Mm, yeah.
So they've made something up and told you that's what you are, and you believe them.
Mm-hmm.
So we've
Yep.
got to, I got over people real early in life because I developed this philosophy that if that's what you think of me, then I don't care what you think. But everybody does not take that philosophy. And let me say this, it was good and bad at the same time, because even though it strengthened me and it caused me to still keep my head up, it also caused me to become bitter and say, well, nobody cares about my feelings, so why should I care about anybody else's? So then you start spewing venom, just like
Mm-hmm.
people were spewing venom over you. So there's has to be that transitioning of, okay, I'm not the sum total of what they said, but I also don't want to become who they are. Okay.
Right.
So because I've experienced it, I don't want to put it on somebody else. But I still had to rise above, and we as women have a lot to rise above because there's
Mm-hmm.
so many different abuses out there. There's the molestation, there's the domestic abuse, there's the societal abuse that we don't talk about
Mm-hmm.
as being women, and especially women of a different generation. It's like these young ladies that are coming up now, they're coming up with this independence and they are what they are. But I was born in 1956, so therefore I had to come up in an era where sometimes you were just told to be quiet. Most of the time, they would take all of your ideas and take the credit for it, and you did all the work, but you didn't get any credit for it. You know, there were so many different things. And so you begin to think that you're not worthy. All you're worth is just to do the work. And it's like, no, no, you're worth so much more. And again, when you value you, you will never let anybody else devalue you. So it changes how you live your life. It really does.
Yeah, it everything. I mean, I had to stop buying into what other people were saying. I work with women that have been labeled too much, and it's
Mm-hmm.
because that was
Mm-hmm.
my story, still is. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
still get that, but I had to learn that I'm not too much. I have my slogan, you're not too much, you're just accepting too little. And
Mm.
that's what
I
I
like it.
did, right? And you look at my second husband, I became everything he wanted me to be, and then he still divorced me. So, and then I was nothing. Like, because I was his creation,
Mm-hmm.
I was not
Mm-hmm.
who I am. And yes, there is pain. Yes, there is loss. Yes, I walk away from people or they walk away from me. But I
Mm-hmm.
look at it as clearing my closet.
I
I'm getting
like
rid of
it.
the old clothes that don't fit because now there's room for new people and clothes that will fit.
Yes, 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 yes. And it's not your fault that somebody doesn't value who you are. It's
Hmm.
not. And
Hmm.
you can't carry the stigmatism of thinking that you've got to do everything you can so they will value you. No, that's not your job. Your job is to value yourself. And
Hmm.
if they don't, then yeah, you might not be the right person to be next to me. Okay, because if you don't understand and honor the worth that I possess, then we can't walk in agreement. And so you have to get to that place. That's why I said, when you value yourself, you will never again let anybody else devalue you, because you realize, you know what? I don't have to take that.
Yeah.
I I'm not that. Okay? And I'm not going to become that just because they think I should.
Hmm.
And so it changes the dynamic of your life. It really does.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it started with my dating experiences, but then it spread out like family, and then
Mm-hmm.
it was friendships. This past
Mm-hmm.
year, that's been the big theme of just totally reinventing myself. And I'm still there. I mean, because I moved from Arizona to Colorado and I haven't found my tribe yet. But part of it is my discernment is so high, my standards are so high. And
Mm-hmm.
then, I keep saying, okay, yes, this is a little bit of a lonely, uncomfortable place to be, but where I was 2 years ago, oh no. It was all superficial,
Mm-hmm.
surface level,
Mm-hmm.
friends in bars, which certainly good people, but they weren't serving my growth. And as I started to
Right.
grow, I outgrew them. And there
Mm-hmm.
was that painful, it hurt on both sides. I
Mm-hmm.
knew I was hurting their feelings, which hurt me, but I
Mm-hmm.
had to let go of that. Like, well, they have a choice. They can come with me. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
stopping them,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. And there's the saying that everybody's not meant to go with you.
Yes.
Everybody can't. You carry something very, very special and very, very valuable. And everybody cannot walk alongside of that. They want to keep you in this little box because they don't want to raise up.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, I love you, but guess what? I can love you from a distance, okay?
Hmm.
It's like, because I'm not going to step down. One of the things that I taught my children and my grandchildren, and now I'm working on this third generation, my great grands, is that you never lower yourself to somebody else's standard. You make them come up to yours. And if they can't come up to yours, then that's okay. I don't have to think less of you, but you can't go with me.
Hmm.
It's really that simple.
That's exactly why I left my last relationship last year. And I even gave him the option. Unfortunately for him, I have, a psych background and I do what I do. And I said, what is happening in this relationship goes against everything I teach my clients. And I
Mm,
have to live. I don't just spew stuff out. I actually
mm-hmm,
walk the
mm,
talk and all that. And I,
mm-hmm.
I gave him an option. Hey, you can, if you go to therapy, if you honestly work on yourself, you're up for some rough seas, and I'm here
Hmm.
to be there. But if you choose
Hmm.
not to, I can't do that.
Yeah, yeah. Because you loved yourself enough to put yourself first.
Yeah.
And that's not a selfish thing. This is where we especially as women, because we're nurturers and we want to take care of everybody, and we put ourselves on the back burner. But
Yep.
I always go back to the announcement on the airplane: put your mask on first and
Yes.
then assist the next person. So I have to love and value me first. And then if I can help you, fine. But if I can't, that's okay too. All right.
Mhm.
But I have to love me enough to not let you try and destroy me.
And there was a lesson in all of that too, because I realized once again I had lowered my standards. You talked
Mm,
earlier about that, and I made it
mm-hmm,
too easy for him. And so I don't want a man that's lazy in his efforts. I want a man that's like into me.
mm,
Like if you don't call me, like I have a standard now. If someone expressed an interest and they don't call within a 2 week period, they're not that into me. We all get busy. We all
exactly.
have lives,
Mhm.
but you can
But a
call and
2 minute, how
say,
you doing? I just wanted to check on you. That don't take long.
right? Or, are you free for coffee on Saturday
Mm-hmm,
afternoon? I'm
mm-hmm,
traveling right now.
mm-hmm,
You're, if you aren't like, yeah, this is who I want and go
mm-hmm.
after it,
Exactly.
I'm
And
good.
I think this is one of the things that our young ladies need to be educated on. You are
Yes,
valuable. Make him work for it. Okay. It's like
totally.
you are a diamond. All right. You need to be mining to get this piece of ore and get the diamond that's in that piece of ore. Because if you
Hmm.
don't want to put in enough effort to come after, listen, my husband came after me for 10 years before we got together. And it was, I'm not telling you to do that, okay?
Right, right.
But it was the fact that he saw and he valued, all right? I didn't quite have the same value in him, but again, my life was totally different back then. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So, and he didn't. he didn't fit what my perception was that I wanted. But in the long run, he was that one that loved me
Hmm.
and that wanted nothing but the best for me. And that changed my perception of him.
Hmm.
So it's like, but he had to prove that, hey, no, I really want you, because he came into my life in a period of time where I was in a very bitter stage. And so I'll look at you and don't see you
Yeah.
because I've been hurt. And
Yeah.
I'm never gonna let anybody hurt me again.
Hmm.
In that mode, you put that wall around your heart and you become
Hmm.
embittered. And so, and you won't let anybody in. It took a while for him to chisel through that stone. But
Hmm.
guess what? He put in the work. He put in the
Yes.
work. And that made all the difference in the world. You are valuable, young ladies. Make him put in the work. I'm serious. And it's not trying to play hard to get or anything, but don't just throw yourself and just to have a man. Like, I don't have to have a man. My husband transitioned in April and I miss him dearly, but I'll be 69 in 12 days. I don't just have to have a man. I'm sorry. Never
Right.
did. Okay.
Right. Right.
I'm at a season in my life where, you know what, I'm good. But I've always been good with me because I was the only child. So it was like I was good with me. When you learn to love you, when you learn to love you, then you understand that it's an honor for you to let somebody else in your sphere and let them love you. It's not that you are desperate and you just need to grab something. When
Hmm.
you love you, you will understand. If you really want to be here, you will honor the gift that I am. Because guess what? I'm going to honor the gift that you are in my life. It's not just a one sided thing. I will give my king the honor that's due him. But first, you better honor me. So, yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, and I have that philosophy now in all my relationships, not just romantic, but friendships.
Mm-hmm.
I love deep conversations like this. Now, it doesn't have to be, oversharing, but I
Right.
don't like surface level how's the weather kind of conversations. And those people
Mm-hmm.
in my group settings that can't get past that, I've
Mm-hmm.
decided don't get access to me one on one. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
this is everybody in my life. If you
Mm-hmm.
want
Mm-hmm.
access, you have
Mm-hmm.
to show me why you've earned it.
Right, right. And it's because you've given of yourself so much and didn't get it back in return. So now it's
Hmm.
like, well, let me vet these people. Let me
Hmm.
not just overly deliver when there's nothing coming back.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to run out of time, and I'd love for you to share what you do, where people can find you, because we can put those in the show notes as well. But please, let's hear
Awesome.
some more. Yeah.
So I'm Dr. Coylette James, basically on all social media. You may find me under Elder Coylette as well, because I am an elder in my church, not the pastor, but I am an elder in my church. But if you Google me, my name is very unique, Coylette James. You will find me, and I'm predominantly on Facebook and Instagram. And I'm on LinkedIn. I do a women's networking once a month on LinkedIn. So you can find me. I'm a little on X and I haven't done the TikTok thing yet, but people are saying I need to. So anyway, I'm out here. Just Google me.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm finding that today that I'm having these conversations that not only are going to be great for the audience, but they're what I
Mhm.
needed for my own soul. Because even as
Yes.
coaches, we need we need
Yeah.
our cup filled too.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. Because we're constantly pouring out. And if we don't
Yeah.
pour back in, again, you got to take care of you. Put your mask on first. If we
Yeah.
don't get poured into, then we'll be empty and drained.
Mm-hmm. 100%. Anything else
Mhm.
that you want to share in these last couple of minutes?
I would just share how important it is for the ladies to value who they were created to be. Your uniqueness is your superpower. Stop trying to fit into everybody else's mode or perception of who they think you are. Be your unique self. If you be who you be, you will do what you do. All right. So just be who you were uniquely created to be and embrace it. Embrace it. Stop naming off all the flaws you have and start embracing the greatness that's within you.
Yes, 100%. It wasn't until I started to do that that I just really found my peace and
Hmm.
my
Hmm.
world. Yes.
Understood.
Thank you so much for this
Thank you.
conversation.
I
It's been
love it.
great. Yes, absolutely.
Definitely. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really honored.
Oh, you're welcome. It was a pleasure.